The problem with the way they did the regulation was they didn't think properly about how the banks would respond. And the Americans did it far better than we did. The Americans told their banks to increase the amount of equity that they held rather than to change the ratio, and impose constraints on their banks. They weren't allowed to increase dividends or bonuses until they'd actually brought their equity up to scale. And they had a backup mechanism through the TARP process, which enabled them to do so credibly. And we had no equivalent of that in Europe. And so we made a mess of it. The economics profession has not helped them very much. It has not focused on these issues, quite largely because many of the macroeconomists who have just assumed that the financial system was perfect and would always work perfectly. It was just a veil that you didn't have to worry about. And my God, did we get it wrong.
10 years on from the start of the crisis, now the profession must have changed. Has the financial markets, has the financial system not become much more at the heart of macroeconomic analysis?
Barely. Barely. It's taking an enormously long time to change. The standard models that we have, the DSGE models, now include some sectors in which there is potentiality for default, but in virtually no model do banks actually default. And default is very rarely incorporated in any model.
And how about the policy toolkit in the event that we were to have another crisis sometime soon?
The policy toolkit is in real trouble because the economy, for reasons we don't fully understand, has grown so slowly that monetary policy has had to remain expansionary throughout. So interest rates are still on the floor. Our fiscal policy, the problem here is that the debt ratios are so high. Not only are they very high, but the projection is that if we're going to look after our old people, the pressures on government are likely to increase. So both monetary and fiscal expansion is, in essence, already constrained by the state they're in at the moment.